guys, Asher coming at you today, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. I'm glad to have you all here with me today. What could be better talking some RSL together? Some old school Demon Lord clan boss. It's never been easier for anybody out there after a few months of playing, after you have, you know, your first team, a couple skill tomes, right? Ready to go to one key Ultra Nightmare clan boss. In a way, this latest fusion, the Wixwell fusion, right? We've actually got our hands on a great kind of catch-up mechanic, right? Especially for newer players out there, but really for everybody out there who wants to easily one key Ultra Nightmare, the hardest difficulty in Entity Affinity on clan boss. I'll show you my favorite team. There's a bunch of different iterations of this team. I'll talk about substitutions as well, and I'll even provide a couple links for you guys in the show notes below. My favorite two things about this team, it is a 2-1 ratio team with a high Katoon, right? Who everybody gets for free after about 30 days.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because you're being very demanding for someone who has no other choice.
But beyond that, speed tuning, provided everybody is above 180 as a bare minimum, maybe 190 if you want to play it safe on the bare minimum speeds. But speed tuning is not important outside of that, right? Team setup will be important, but I'll show you that in just a moment. But speed tuning, not important. That's awesome. Affinities, doesn't matter. Gonna work against every affinity as well. And that is the easiness that I really love about this squad here. So let's just jump to it here. I'll show you the gear on all these champions. We'll talk about different ways to kind of optimize the run as well. But let's just jump into it here with the actual team setup, right? We'll go Ultra Nightmare here. We will go, this is the squad. Good old Rosin Scarhide. I love you, Rosin, but I still want to buff to Rosin. Plarium? You there?
No, I don't need Vaseline.
Buff Rosin Scarhide. Give this dude a buff, please. He's so cool.
I am awesome.
No, he's good, but he can be a hell of a lot better. 91 speed, Plarium.
Oh, is this you again?
All right, made my point. Buff this dude's speed. Buff his A3 so he has more viability outside a boss debuffer, but for that, he's great. He's got decreased defense and weaken on a 3-turn cooldown. The big versions of each is a triple hitter on his A1 as well. Good old Rosin Scarhide. He's a permanent fusion inside the game. He's the only other legendary on the team. Wixwell, spoke about it. You guys are probably already familiar with this kit. I mean, we voted for it after all as a community, but in case you're not, it revolves around the Tempest of Knowledge. It increases the value of shields on all allies. The value of the shields are increased proportional to the total number of buffs which had their duration increased. So all we need to do is pair him with any 2 buff extenders on a 3-turn cooldown, all right? So those are gonna be like the substitution, you know, for, we have Anchorite here, right? I actually maxed him out just for this video. I don't really have any experience using this dude, but he's got the ability. Removes a random debuff from all allies and increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn on a 3-turn cooldown. It does need to be booked, so it's a 3-turn cooldown. Same thing with Hellborn and Sprite. Hellborn and Sprite on the A3. Increase the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn, and then increase crit rate. Whatever. 3-turn, increase buff duration. As easy as that. The most important thing about this team, again, speeds, whatever. Affinity, we're good. Most important thing is you need 1 champion on this team in a shield set. 1 champion on this team needs to be in a shield set, okay? Let me show you the team setup really quickly here. And again, you'll see these speeds. I just went with whatever gear I had on everybody already. You know, I didn't do anything for this video other than throw them all on a team and do the team setup, right? We're shutting off the Shamanic Lightning. High Katoon's in the lead spot, right? We have Wixwell over here. He's going to be prioritizing his Tempest of Knowledge, his A2 ability. We have Rosin over here. I suppose we could shut off the A3, but we're just going to leave it as is. I don't want to touch anything, right? It's not broke, don't fix it. And then we have Anchorite. He's going to be opening. So our buff extenders, right, are going to be opening with a different ability and then going into the buff extension, right? So with Anchorite, he's going to be opening up with the Sacred Trust ability, right? He'll be putting an increased crit rate and increased crit damage on everybody, and then we'll be extending that duration later on, so hopefully we'll never drop off. So we're going to be opening with this, then never using it again, and then we're going to be going into Prayer Prowess as our first priority ability, right? Hellborn and Sprite, kind of the same deal. We're not going to be using the Crumbling Flesh, the A2 ability. We're going to be opening with the A1, and then we're going to be using Transmuter. It's the only other active ability here. You can see I have 193 speed on Hellborn. I have 179 on Anchorite, so breaking my own rule of 180 or above. We have Rosin with 224. We have Wixwell at 235 in a reflex set, okay? Hellborn is in that shield set. She's my shield champion. That's about it, okay? So that's the entire run. I'm in this predicament right now, boys and girls, where I kind of want to, I don't want to we'll just burn the gems. We'll just burn the gems. I'm like, I kind of want to show you the team, but I also don't want to show you the entire run, right?
You don't want to work. You just want to make noise.
We go in there. We had the shield set. We're going to come in. We're going to start. These are the hits that I talked about. You want a decent level of defense. I don't know, let's say like 3,000 defense or so. You just want your team to stay alive until you're able to grow that shield enough so that it doesn't matter, right? So having a little bit of survivability. If somebody's dying in the first few rounds, then, well, you know you probably need to add some defense to somebody, right? Other than that, though, everything's going to be fine. With the interceptability on Wixwell, you don't really have to worry about stuns either. So this is it, man. I just want to say I think it's so cool, right? It's so cool that we have the cleanse in that situation too. So once things get going, it's going to be fine. You can already see that shield is doing its job and everything's looking great, right? I think this is so cool personally. I know that there's like a lot of debate, I would say, in the community about this. If in case you're unaware, there's one contingent of creators and community members that are like, this is bad for the game because it's taking the strategy, the tuning, and you know, like the stuff that we all watch Deadwood Jedi every day for, right?
Don't you drag me into this.
I kind of feel for Deadwood, but there's tons of strategy to still talk about, and there's a whole nother clan boss coming, so he'll be A-okay. He's still going to be the GOAT, right? It's taken some of the depth of the strategy away through the ease of what Wixwell has brought to the game. I personally think it's a great thing because there's so much to focus on as a new or, you know, even mid-game player, right? There's so much to focus on that it's nice to have a simple and easy solution to one of the oldest pieces of content in the game, you know? Does that disrupt the sanctity of Clan Boss? Maybe it does, but, you know, things change, right? And I think I think it's good. Anyway, I digress. You can see the team. Toxic set on somebody will also speed things up a little bit. You can have like 2 people built in Toxic for more damage, especially if you can't reach that one key. But, you know, everybody with a decent amount of... I think I've covered pretty much everything, right? Let's see. Yeah, that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out now, and then I'm going to do the quick battle and just show you the overall damage here. But there's ways that we can speed this up as well. I also want to provide a link to hellhades.com for you guys with all the 3-turn buff extenders. So you can discover, if you don't have an Ancherite, for example, you can look to see who you have on your account, excuse me, that would best be served in that role. The best option is Mikage, you know, if you have her, the mythical fusion. Let me edit the team and quick battle this and see what we get for damage here. So quick battle is, drum roll please. Well, this is not very quick, Clarion.
Patience, brother. Patience.
There we go. 84.55 million damage. No big deal. Done and done. I will show you, as I promised, you know, the builds on these champions, but as I said earlier, it really doesn't matter that much. But this is Rosin. You can take a look at his stats here. Build him for a little bit of damage. Obviously, accuracy is going to be important to land those debuffs. Giant Slayer as a tier 6 mastery. We have War Master on Vault Keeper. He's in, as I mentioned, Reflex. Reflex will help you quite a bit if you have it, because he'll get back to that A2, which he's prioritizing more often, right? We have High Katoon, just a little bit of speed, some perception gear on her. We have Ancherite in a reflex set as well to get back again to more of the prayer prowess. It's not mandatory, but it's nice to have. I don't have any masteries on Ancherite or High Katoon. Hellborn I just have in War Master. And again, most importantly, Hellborn Sprite is going to be in that shield set. Guys, I actually do not know. I know it works against all affinities. I wonder if it also works against Nightmare. Let's just see. I'll burn 100 gems because I love you guys. Let's just see what it does in... I imagine it works in any difficulty as well. Why wouldn't it, right? But let's just wait for the 30-second quick battle here. Cue the Jeopardy theme. Yeah, of course. So it's going to work everywhere for you guys. I mean, hopefully this solves a few of you guys struggling out there with Clan Boss or just looking to make maybe a... I think these are great team ideas for folks out there who might have been running a Demitha and Helicath team or something like that. Basically, somebody out there using champions that, you know, they were going to want to use in other areas, like a live arena, or maybe some of your better Hydra options. Maybe it will free them up and you can re-gear them instead of having them on your old speed tune team. I did that personally, right? I was running a Demitha team, now I freed her up to use her in other areas, and you can kind of fall back on the comfort of having a nice, easy Wixwell team like this. Guys, that's going to do it for the video. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care, guys.